Alright, let's continue on in this statistics lesson. This question says, complete the following multiple choice. Which histogram uses the table below? Alright, so we basically have to see, if you had this table, which graph would you graph? The x and the y axes are all the same, so that's not going to change anything. From 4 to 6, I need a frequency of 7. Well, this wouldn't be my answer choice. That's 7 in between. Well, this one's in between 8 and 10, which would make that 9. This one's in between 8 and 6. Between 6 and 8, yep, that's 7. But this one's between 4 and 6, which would make that 5. So our answer is choice 6. We would love to get that question on the regions. Just by looking at the first one, you had to make sure that between 4 and 6 was a frequency of 7. And we could just double check that this is correct all the way through. 2 to 4 is definitely 3. And then those are both 5. That looks good. So answer choice C. So our objective for today is, I can calculate and interpret the mean, median, mode, and range of a data set. So let's look at some definitions of central tendency. One thing that we can be asked to find is the mean. To find the mean of a data set, you take all the numbers and add it together and then divide it by the number of numbers there are. The median, that's the middle number in the data set. So the only annoying part here is you would have to order them from least to greatest and then cross off from each end until you end up with 1 in the middle. If you have a odd number of stuff, you're gonna, or even, I forgot which one, you're gonna end up with 2 stuff in the middle. When that happens, you take those and divide it by 2 and see which one is in between the 2. The mode, the number that repeats the most in the data set. If no number repeats more than another number, then there's no mode. And the range is the difference between the highest and lowest numbers in a data set. So let's look at this practice problem. A survey was taken amongst 12 people on the number of passwords they currently have to remember. The results in ascending order, this is nice for us because it's already from least to greatest, are shown below. State the median number of passwords and the mean. Alright, median means we're going to cross off from each side. Let me just see this one more time. I want to make sure I don't make a mistake. Okay, we have this 2 and 3, and what number would be in between 2 and 3 is 2.5. So our median is 2.5. Now, to find the mean, I have to start by adding all these things together. What is 0 plus, there's 3 1, so that's 3, plus 2 2 is 4, plus 3 3 3, 3 is 12, plus 4 plus 6. This is together, these are 3, these are 4, this is 12. Okay, and that is 29. And then there was 12 of them. So, and it says state to the nearest tenth. So the mean would be 2.4. Very nice. Alright, let's look at the second practice problem. Students in this algebra class were trying to determine if people speed along a certain section of the highway. They collected speeds of 20 vehicles as displayed in the table below. Find the mean and median for this data set. Okay, alright, we start with 29 and we have one person that does 29. Then 33 we have 2 people, so I'm going to write that twice. Then 34 we have 4 people. Then 35, we have 5 people. Then 36, we have 3 people. Then 38, we have 2 people. 39, we have 2 people. And 54, we have 1 person. And it says there was 20 vehicles. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright, now we have to, for the mean, we have to add these all up. So there's 29, there's 129, there's 2 30s, 2 33s, 4 34s, 5 35s, 3 36s, 2 38s, 2 39s, and there is 154. And we divide that by the 20. Alright, so our mean would be 36.1. And now to find the median, we cross off 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2, 1 2, 1 1 1 1 2, 1 2. And what's in between 35 and 35 is just going to be 35. So our median would be 35. Alright, and the next question says, the speed limit along this highway is 35 miles per hour. Based on your results from part A, is it fair to make the conclusion that the average driver does this speed? And you can say yes, because the mean was 36.1, which is close to 35. Alright, now let's go over some definitions. When we talk about a sample is an outcome of a random experiment. When we sample a random variable, we obtain one specific value out of the set of its possible values. That particular value is called a sample. Whereas if we're talking about a population in statistics and other areas of math, this is a discrete group of people, animals, or things that can be identified by at least one common characteristics for purpose of data and analyzing. So, to determine which television program are the most popular in a large city, a poll is conducted by selecting a sample of people at random and interviewing them. Outside, which of the following locations would the interviewer be most likely to find a fair sample? Alright, we're talking about a television program. Alright, well, if you go to a baseball field, probably a lot of people are going to be watching baseball on TV. If you go to a concert hall, probably a lot of people are going to be watching those music channels. And if you go to a comedy club, a lot of people are probably going to be watching something that's comedy related. But everybody, whether they like food or not, has to go to the grocery store because they somehow have to cook dinner. So if you go there, that would be a good random sample. Alright, let's look at this one. Alright, he wants to know what the mean and median is, and they already put these in order. Thank you very much. So let's add these together. 29 plus 70 plus 272s plus 374s plus 175 plus 376 plus 277s plus 82. Alright, and let's divide it by the 14 players. We get 74.5. This would be our median. And the median is the middle number, so let's go find the middle number. And in between 74 and 75 is 74.5. And the next question says, is this data set a fair sample to use to determine the average height of high school male students? Explain your answer. I do not think it is fair to use people from the basketball team because most of the time people from the basketball team tend to be a little bit taller. Alrighty, let's look at this definition. What is an outlier? An outlier is a value that is far from the usual data point. Sometimes outliers can throw off the mean. This is usually considered an extreme value. So first they want us to find our mean here. So let's add these things together. And there are 8 of them. So the mean would be 70.6, and let's find the median. in between 85 and 87 would be 86. Is there an outlier here? Is there something that's very off from the rest? 45 is very off from the rest. Based on your answer from part A, which value, the mean or median, is a better measure of how well the student's average did? 70.6 does not seem to be the mean, because the mean should be around, and most of the data is a lot over 70.6, so the median would be better, because that falls in the middle of a lot of the data points. Alright, and that sums up our lesson on central tendency.